Madam Chairman, we're live.
Welcome back to our morning session of October 15th. Up next is a public hearing, the DF development, the road names and deeded rights of way. I don't have the CUP number right in front of me.
It's not a CUP.
Thank you. All right, we will go ahead and open the public hearing. I would ask my fellow commissioners, and Commissioner Caldwell is online. She is at a county meeting today down in the valley, so therefore couldn't be with us personally, but she is here for this public hearing. But I will ask if anyone has ex parte contact or any conflict of interest with this.
I do not.
I do not. I do want to disclose that in another part of the county, we are a neighboring landowner to some DF development ground, but in talks with our prosecuting attorney's office, it is not a recusable conflict of interest.
Okay, thank you. All right, first, our staff report.
Okay, so the staff report on the acceptance of deeds, dedication of public roads, and validation of road names. This is under Valley County Code Title 5, Chapter 4, and not the Land Use Planning Act. The applicant property owner is DF Development LLC, represented by Josh Leonard. DF Development LLC has applied to name several roads and to convey and dedicate the roads to Valley County as public rights-of-way. A map of the affected area was attached to the staff report. The roads are located within a land holding of approximately 13,436 acres. No new parcels are being created due to these actions. The purpose of the application is as follows. One is to ensure access to public lands into the future, assign addressing for emergency responders, and create circulation between Clear Creek and Horse Thief. The new names proposed for these roads are Elk Valley Drive, Legacy View Drive, Long Meadow Drive, Low Creek Drive, Moose Meadow Drive, Peak View Lane, Ranch View Road, Riverbend Lane, Sparrow Lane, Still Forest Drive, White Pine Drive, and Wildland Drive. If approved, the road names would be added to the Valley County official road name list and maps. The DF Development would construct the roads to fire code standards. The proposed Riverbend Lane is currently subject to a cost share agreement with the Forest Service. Dedication and conveyance of this road would be conditional upon successful termination of the Forest Service cost share agreement. DF Development also proposes to deed and dedicate the following to Valley County for use as public rights-of-ways, and that includes 2 lengths of Clear Creek Road. One of them is 4.33 miles in length and one is 2.77 miles. And then 1.8 miles of Horse Thief Road, northerly of the junction with Clear Creek Road. And then there's another deed that will actually ensure ownership of Horse Thief Road to the YMCA camp. Deeds have been submitted. The rights-of-way deeds reserve certain limited rights to DF Development, such as the right to access the public roads and to place sewer, water, and utilities within the public rights-of-way, subject to DF Development obtaining all required permits, including the Valley County Road Department. And that is nothing out of the ordinary from what we typically do in our public rights-of-way. DF Development would be responsible for installing new road signs if approved. Findings: the complete application and payment were received on September 11th, 2025. Proper legal requirement for advertisement of the hearing has been fulfilled as required. We did the legal notice in the Star News, sent it to agencies, property owners, placed it on the Valley County website, and then posted along 3 different sites on Clear Creek Road. Agency comments received. Brent Copes, Central District Health, has no objection to the proposal. Harleen Oberg, Idaho Department of Environmental Quality, stated the Boise Regional DEQ Administration has no comments at this time. And then all road names have been approved by the Valley County Dispatch and Valley County Assessor. They do not duplicate other road names in the county or cities. We received no public comments. Valley County Code 5-4-4 designation of road names And 5-4-7 changes in road names and public-private declaration applied to this application. Those codes were attached for your review. Staff comments. Approval and recording of the deeds would mean the Valley County owns the rights of way instead of a prescriptive easement or cost share agreement. Approval would clarify for both staff and the public what is and is not historical Forest Service roads. Naming of the roads is desired by emergency responders. If the proposal is denied, DF Development and future owners can still sell the legal parcels. The sites would be accessed by roads identified with Forest Service road numbers. Maintenance of the roads would be determined by the Board of County Commissioners and could change in the future. The proposed road, White Pine Drive, is shown as a public Forest Service road, East Mountain Spur on the Valley County GIS road layer, shown on the Planning and Zoning GIS map. Ownership of this section and road name need to be clarified with the Forest Service. A Forest Service map from 2008 shows that the Forest Service owns the right-of-way at this location. See survey area number 2 in the application and page 3700 from the Valley County Rural Addressing System book. And those were attached for your review. And then I did a proposed motion that I think covers any concerns we have. Would you like me to read that?
No.
Okay. And since the staff report was completed, we received one letter. And this, I think I received yesterday. I did email it to you. And it says, please vote no on the proposal. The Valley County taxpayers should bear the burden of road maintenance to Legacy Creek Ranch subdivision. She owns property at Alderway and Clear Creek. And she's concerned about the potential for 70 houses in the area. And I would like to be very clear that this application does not create a subdivision. This is deeding roads to Valley County to ensure access to public lands in the future and approving road names. And then you have to accept those deeds. And that ends my staff report unless you have questions.
Cindy, could you explain to the public, because I think there is a lot of misinformation, misperception on why this is not a subdivision.
This is not a subdivision because they have 13,486 acres, something like that out there. And they have legal parcels that exist. And then they have original parcels that predate April 29th of 1970 that they have the ability to split one time. And so they have that many parcels in their name. So it is not a subdivision. And all they're really trying to do is deed us the roads and have names put on them for emergency responders. One of the things that they are doing, though, beyond just that, is actually deeding us Horse Thief Road, which will be circulation through the county from Clear Creek Road to the YMCA camp, so that if there's an emergency up in that northern part, people at the YMCA camp can get out. So it's that simple. It's just deeding us roads, naming those roads. It's not a subdivision.
Okay, thank you. Do either of the commissioners have questions for staff?
Not at this time.
No.
All right, next we will have a presentation by the applicant.
Madam
Please
Chair,
tell us your name.
Commissioners, my name is Josh Leonard of Clark Wardle LLP. We're at 251 East Front Street, Suite 310 in Boise. And I, again, represent the applicant. Can we start that presentation? Sorry.
Madam Chairman, Commissioner Caldwell, I will be having to juggle the screens, so you probably should still be able to hear, but you won't be able to ask any questions. If you wouldn't mind in the chat just letting me know when you have a question, and then I'll pop up this screen because we are not connected this presentation is not connected to Teams, so just wanted to make sure
Okay.
everyone was aware.
Not a problem. Thank you.
I'd like to start off our presentation really quickly by thanking staff for the time and effort that they've gone to in reviewing our application and in producing the staff report. I think it's an excellent staff report. It covers exactly what we're looking to do here and has good conditions. And I believe that the motion accurately reflects what we're asking the county to do here. I'd also like to thank the board for the opportunity to present today. As Ms. Herrick noted, our application proposes to name 12 roads and to dedicate those 12 roads along with long stretches of both Clear Creek and Horse Thief Road roads to the county for public use. Next slide, please. The aerial depiction on this slide, which also accompanied our application, it just gives you an idea of where these roads are in relation to the county. They're in the sections highlighted in green. Next slide, please. The shape of the property in this slide matches the outline in the previous slide of the affected area. One thing I wanted to point out on this slide is that to make it easier for our surveyors to survey these properties and these roads that are being dedicated, we broke it up into 6 survey areas. Survey area 1 is in pink, survey area 2 is in red, survey area 3 is in purple, survey area 4 is in blue, survey area 5 is in green, and survey area 6 is outlined. It's the largest one in orange. Next slide, please. These are the 12 road names that we're proposing for the property. Ms. Herrick already went through them, so I'm not going to read them again, but they're up there on the screen. These 12 road names have all been approved by county dispatch and by the county assessor's office. Next slide, please. As a condition of approving the names and deeding of the roads to the county can require the applicant to first construct each of the roads to fire code standards. The second is to construct and install a new bridge over Clear Creek on Long Meadow Drive. And then the third is to install new road signs for each of the named roads. And rather than having those road signs ready to go immediately, we've waited to order those in case there were any changes to the road names proposed by the applicant in this case, but we can have those done relatively quickly. Next slide, please. In addition, as Ms. Herrick noted, in addition to improving and deeding the 12 smaller roads to the county, the applicant would also deed the following roads to the county for use by the public. It's a little over 7 miles of Clear Creek Road, and then Horse Thief Road, starting at Clear Creek Road and extending all the way to the YMCA camp property. Next slide. This we can stay on this slide for now, but I wanted to point out just one thing in the staff report that was in error, and it's not staff's error, it's my error. We included 2 deeds for Horse Thief. One of those deeds on it said 1.8 miles. That's only a portion of the length of Horse Thief. It's actually longer than 1.8 miles. I don't have the exact calculation, but I believe it's somewhere between 3.5 and 4 total miles.
But you're giving testimony that it connects the YMCA camp clear down to Clear Creek Road.
It does, correct.
Okay.
That does. Yeah, thank you. This aerial depiction shows the length of the 7 miles of Clear Creek Road. That's the 2 pink or purple or fuchsia color points, one on each end of that length of Clear Creek Road. And then the green shows the length of Horse Thief Road, which is, again, from Clear Creek Road to the YMCA property. Next slide. Sections 5-4-3 and 5-4-4 contain the standards and approvals required, and specifically section 5.4.4 contains the standards for road name designations. Of these, we meet them all. I've highlighted one here because there's a requirement in code that says that the preference is that road names are limited to 10 letters. That code section has a big comma and then unless otherwise approved by the board. Next slide, please. All of our proposed road names comply with that standard except for 2. We have Moose Meadow Drive and Still Forest Drive that are 1 letter longer than that preferred 10. We would just ask the board to to exercise its unless otherwise approved by the board authority and allow us those. And would note again that they have been approved by both dispatch and by the assessor's office and wouldn't conflict with any other road names. Next slide, please. The public benefits of deeding these roads to the county include these would be newly constructed roadways that come to the county. They would meet fire code standards. Construction wouldn't cost the county anything. These would be deeded in that finished fire code standard. The county, as Ms. Herrick noted in her staff report, can set the maintenance levels it desires for these roads. Technically, no maintenance is required, and no maintenance will be required in the short term because they will be brand newly created and newly constructed roads. As Ms. Herrick also mentioned, there appeared to be, in the one public comment that was received either yesterday or on Friday, there appeared to be some confusion about what this application was for. It appeared from the public comment that the application was for a subdivision or for the addition of lots or parcels, and that's not the case. The applicant in this case, and to make it very clear, gains no additional entitlements by deeding these roads to the county. There's no new lots created. There's no new parcels created by this application. In fact, if our application today is denied, then the legal parcels can still be sold. They just would be accessed via roads that are identified with Forest Service road numbers as opposed to road names. In other words, the applicant already has those buildable parcels, and we're not here for that today. One other public benefit that I neglected to include on this slide is that naming these roads makes it safer and makes it easier for public safety first responders to identify these roads and be able to reach them. Making it easier for dispatch to identify them and makes it so it's not needed that they be referred to by Forest Service road name or road numbers, which improves public safety. The last one on this list, I think, is the most significant in that by accepting the deeds for these roads, again, as Ms. Herrick stated, we're improving public access. Importantly, public road connectivity, particularly in the case of emergency, and particularly from the YMCA property down to Clear Creek in case of a needed evacuation, and then also circulation. There were a couple of, Ms. Herrick mentioned a couple of points in her staff report. One of them is that Riverbend Lane is currently subject to a Forest Service cost share agreement.
Let's not talk during the testimony, please. Thank you.
We're asking that our dedication and deeding of Riverbend Lane be made subject to clearing that cost share agreement with the Forest Service, which we've already started. We're in the process of doing. And then White Pine Drive, there's a little bit of confusion as to who owns this. Currently, we believe we own it, but we're talking with the Forest Service to clarify because it's shown on Forest Service maps as already being a public road. We'll clear that up before we make that deeding and dedication. It's just some conflicting information about ownership of that one road. And with that, that concludes our presentation, and we'd be willing to stand for questions.
Okay, the commissioners have questions for the applicant.
I only have one. When you say you're creating these roads and these are all going to be gravel roads.
Yes, that's correct.
May I clarify something? You're not creating new roads. You're improving historical roads.
Thank you. That's exactly correct. The roads all exist in these locations. We're not going to be creating the roads, but we will be improving them to fire code standard.
Okay. Thank you.
And then the other part was, I think it's did you say Still Forest? The one that is actually East Mountain Lookout Spur Road. That's the one that we need to clarify the ownership and then the naming protocol as to whether or not Forest Service wants it to continue to be East Mountain Spur or if we're going to rename that one.
And that's the one,
The White
White
Pine
Pine
Drive.
Drive.
White Pine, okay. I just,
No, you're exactly right.
And while you're there, so that on that one, is there a FERDA on that at all? You know, or there's questions as far as who owns it?
Questions as far as who owns it. When we did our research, we didn't pull a cost share agreement or a road or a FERDA.
Okay.
So I don't believe so, but we'll double check as we're going through the ownership clarification.
All right, perfect. All right, with no further questions, your turn will come. We'll go through the process, so you'll get your time to speak. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, first up, we will have testimony of the proponents. So I have a lot of people in this room and I only have 7 people signed up that are in opposition. Are other people wanting to sign up to speak today? Okay, we'll just take them in order as you come up then. So first up is proponents. The only one signed up was the legal representation. Is there anyone else here that is a proponent? Okay, so next up, I will go and list for those that, first of all, the next one will be the undecided. I have a Jim and Sonia Lamont. Okay, if you'd like to come up to the microphone, please.
Okay, just to speak to him, or?
No, you got to come up to the microphone. Remember, you are speaking to us.
Yes, ma'am.
You are not speaking to them, so please give us your name and address.
3 minutes.
Jim Layman, 400 Corral Creek Road. Question for the developer was, in terms of first, just to level set me, the 13,000 acres, did I hear it's 70 parcels? Is that right? Did I mishear that?
They have taken the legal building permits on 70 parcels and combined those, correct?
no, they will, we didn't count them before this because it's not part of this, but they probably have 70 to 80 legal parcels out there.
So if they were to ask for more, they would come back to the county and ask for.
Any other divisions, they went to the maximum. Any other divisions would require a subdivision plat.
And that's over the 13,000 acres?
Yes.
Okay. Question relative to the access side. Having been a 3-year resident, I haven't come across that no maintenance road yet. I wanted to understand what that meant. Are these being, and I appreciate, if I understand it right, these are being helpful to the county, I guess it's accessing their parcels, but it would be in addition to benefit, like it's going to become a better road, which is always good for us, right? My question though is, are they paved? Are they gravel?
They're gravel roads, and the county does not accept any additional roadway for maintenance. So county will not be maintaining these.
Got
This
it.
will be up to the owners or the subdivision in order to maintain them, especially for wintertime access.
I was going to say that would include snow removal, right? We would not have
Correct.
to pick that up
We
as
will
tax.
not, no,
With proper
not be doing
permits.
I'm sorry?
With proper permits.
Yeah, with proper permits. Anybody that works in the county right of way has to apply for a permit to do so. So they would have to apply for the correct permits in order to work in a county right of way. But these will be standard county roads. We already have, 800 miles of county roads. We don't maintain even a portion of those.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I'm.
They're on one of those?
I know them,
Okay.
which is fine, great to get the beauty of this place and the great folks that live up here. I'm all into it. But
Absolutely.
just want to make sure we weren't picking up anything for a very wealthy developer. So, which, from what I've heard, are pretty good guys to work with. I'm not saying anything negative about it, so I just want to make sure we weren't as taxpayers picking up anything. In the past, when there was like particularly last year, a fire emergency where, I mean, we were burning a lot, or from the Mother Nature. And behind my home, and ranch, we were asked to open gates, et cetera, in the event that YMCA, had to be evacuated, which obviously we're all in. Tell me what you need. We got skid steers, dozers, where anybody that's in distress. If I understand it right, this would relieve that. Am I seeing that correctly from the YMCA camp? Okay, so they would be able to.
My comment would be, anytime we have fire or an emergency, it's up to our emergency manager in order to set those protocols. This would allow a full access out of there. We've been looking for this for quite
Yeah,
some time.
right.
But But if there was a it's all situational awareness. If our emergency manager determined that access through your ranch may be necessary,
Sure.
they would be in contact.
Only in, I mean,
So,
I just want to
absolutely.
understand if that's what it was relieving as well when I heard that.
Yes,
Okay,
it is
thanks.
creating an additional access.
Appreciate it.
Yes. All right, we'll move down to the opponents.
Can I say something real quick in the end? But
Oh, you bet.
yeah, I just wanted to put in a plug for Parks and Recreation, Dave Bingaman, Valley County Parks and Rec. Not looking at either side of the issue or weighing in on one or the other. I just wanted to make sure that as you guys are looking at this, that you realize Clear Creek Road, as it stands right now, is part of the county grooming system. We would be giving up 6 miles of that road with this, and then there is an alternate route that we've looked at that will take us around it. I think the northern or the eastern edge of that alternate route, the Skunk Creek Road / East Mountain Road, comes down into and turns into the road that they mentioned is White Pine. Or confused as far as who owns that piece of the road, Forest Service or DF Development. So just wanted to throw that out there that we've looked at an alternate route. We're discussing with DF how we could share the road going up Clear Creek for snowmobile traffic, but we would not be able to use it with our county groomers. They're owned by the state, and they will not let us drive those groomers on roads with less than 18 inches of snow on them. So the alternate route is available, and I just want to put a plug in as far as maintaining that access point on the eastern edge of the development that we're looking at, and also just clarify the use on the Horse Thief Road. Has anybody discussed whether or not that gate on the north end would be open from the Y camp? Is that going to be a public road? It would be open all the time, or is this just an emergency access road? I wasn't clear when I was looking through the application on that.
My understanding that gate comes off. This is a full-on access road. So
Okay.
this is the first I've heard about the snowmobile.
Horse Thief
program.
has a sign at the end of the Horse Thief Road now. The Y Camp has a road sign that says private property, just past the spillway to that gated road in the south edge of their parcel. So that would be something else to consider in this conversation, I think, because ideally we would like to have that road open as summer and winter, or at least summer recreation access. You know, it obviously plays an important role for emergency, but
So what I'm hearing you say is where our current road stops, there is private ground that would block us being able to get onto.
it's signed that way now. I do not know the ownership.
That's a totally different
Yep, just wanted to weigh that.
issue, but my recollection is that YMCA owns the land up to the right of way in their deeds, and it's a public right of way to the south part of their camp, to the south end of their camp.
So they would not be able to block access.
I don't believe that they can. It has not been settled in a court. They haven't opposed it. It was a condition of approval of the original conditional use permit that was a public right of way.
Okay.
It would provide a great opportunity, and I really commend DF for working with the county on trying to open that piece of the Horse Thief Road up. And really, those are all the concerns that I had to say. I just wanted to bring up the county grooming component and then the Horse Thief.
So Dave, is that that optional route? Is that even a viable route? I mean, I've heard it's a pretty rough route to get.
No, we went up and looked at it with Idaho Department of Parks and Rec. It's actually a really nice route. It opens up some other opportunities. There's some good boondock opportunities for off-trail riding up there. It makes a really nice loop, and if we can use the Clear Creek portion as a shared route that would not be groomed, that would be a really nice, family trip for a loop. So if somebody just didn't want to use the Skunk Creek Road, the Clear Creek Road could still be an option. It would just be plowed. It wouldn't be plowed down to pavement necessarily or gravel, ideally, but it would still open up a couple different opportunities.
So what I've heard you say is you're in communication with the DF development in order to resolve this issue, and you do think that there is a workaround.
I do. I'm concerned about the eastern edge of the Skunk Creek East Mountain Road.
Okay?
I just wanted to throw that out there. So
Okay.
depending on how that turns out, it could become a shared use route like No Business Road is now. If it's wide enough, that would work for, a solution.
Okay. And have you worked with the road department?
Just talked to them earlier today.
Okay. Hey,
That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you,
I
Dave.
think Jeff's in the room, so if there's anything that you want to add to that. Okay. All right, up next are opponents. First up, I'm sorry, are you uncommitted?
I am, yes, and I'm from the Y, if I could speak.
Oh, please come up.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
My name is Teresa Wood Adams. I'm our Vice President and Chief Youth Development Officer. I just wanted to put on record that we have not been reached out to or communicated with anyone regarding the road that is within our property. We would be happy to have conversations, but just wanted to put out there that we have not had any conversations with anyone, but we are available.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. All right, anyone else that is undecided? Okay. Then we're moving on to opponents. Mr. Julian, you are up first. Run. Please
My
give
name's
us
Ron
names and
Julian.
And I will preface for everyone, you have 3 minutes for your testimony.
Okay. In my career with the Forest Service, I became pretty familiar with most of the road system on East Mountain. I would describe them as native surface roads, decomposed granite, which is, very erosive unless it's managed well. But there are some sections of gravel that have been put in with timber sales in past years that cover parts of those where the road surface is most sensitive. The road going up Clear Creek is pretty flat, pretty shaded, and it is a critical wintertime snowmobile access point for especially people living in the Clear Creek area. I think we need to have a little bit better information on how to mitigate the loss of that. You can't plow and maintain that road for snowmobiles at the same time. 6.2 miles, people won't be able to ride up there without burning up their sled or sticking their track. So, and they can't get out of it because there's going to be a snow berm on each side. So it's gonna become a road for cars and not snowmobiles. So an alternate route needs to be part of the proposal. When you have planning without planning exercises and a lot of involvement from the public, you don't get all the issues. So I would encourage you to table this until you get that issue resolved. Thank you.
Thank you. Up next, Ron Peterson, Ronald Peterson.
I am opposed to this.
Give us your name and just the city that you live in.
Ronald Peterson, I live out on Clear Creek Road. I'm the last house before you get into the forest, a full-time resident. I've lived there since '97 full-time. I'm opposed to this. The bridges that are out there are all wooden. They've been there for 30 years and no maintenance has ever been done on any of those wooden bridges out there. There's approximately 6 bridges between my house and this subdivision. Valley County Roads and Bridges does not have the funds to take care of the roads they have now. In the wintertime, I have to go out and plow the road in front of my house, Clear Creek Road, down through the swale and up to the west side of the East Mountain Estates Reservoir, so my wife can get out and come to the swimming pool or go to work when she used to work at Wheelers. They don't have the money to take care of the roads and bridges they have now. I don't see how you can take anything on, and if you say, or they say, you're not going to have to spend money on it, I don't believe that. Maybe not today, but tomorrow they'll be back and tell you they want their roads fixed. Thank you.
Thank you for your input. Gordon Rieger? Rieger?
I was planning on getting up here and talking, but yesterday I did a little
Can you give us the town you
call.
live
Gordon
in?
Rieger, 16 Blue Spruce Court, Cascade.
Thank you.
Yesterday I did a little looking, and the Valley County budget for 2025 is $44 million. Then I looked up Wilkes Brothers. They're worth $3.9 million, or $1 billion. Okay, you divide your budget into 3.9 million, that goes in 95 times. The people that are making the profit on this development is DF, and I believe that they should be doing more towards maintenance, and the county can't keep up with the roads that there are now. And the traffic, we've complained and complained and complained about the dust on Clear Creek Road and the speed. And we can't get sheriffs out there to respond, especially on heavy weekends. The roads are just, in the winter, they're plowed, but it's all the main roads first, and then they come into the subdivisions. Well, there's a lot of snow up where DF development is going, and I just don't think it's real. I think there needs to be more concern about the road and the maintenance and how it's going to affect the fire department, how it's going to affect Valley County Sheriff's Department, emergency vehicles, and the road between Clear Creek and Warm Lake that they're going to open up supposedly and go through, that should be open 100% of the time if they're going to do that. That'll take a lot of the relief off of Clear Creek Road. And our traffic is terrible now, and this hasn't even started yet. So I don't live on Clear Creek, but I live a quarter of a mile from it. But my neighbors have fought and fought and fought this forever. There's a swale down there that a lot of times Skunk Creek goes over the top of it. And the county's got to be given more money to maintain roads, period. I don't care where it is, but especially if you're going to expand up here. So Jeff, I went and talked, they're going to, can I just have?
Yep, you wrap up your thoughts.
Okay, from the end of Clear Creek, where the pavement ends, over by Skunk, and then goes down and then hangs left. They're going to put down a new process, which I know nothing about. I've never heard of it before. And they're going to, supposedly it'll cut down on some of the dust, but I'm worried about speed and danger. Thank you.
Oh, just a reminder, speak to what this conversation's about, renaming roads, accepting these roads. We're not gonna change the fact that there are 70 lots back there and that parcels, yeah. So just keep that in mind as we're doing this. Up next, Mike Chapin.
Mine's been answered.
All right, thank you. Kathy Chapin? Okay, thank you. Something Eveland Gage?
Greg Eveland.
Okay. Greg? Okay.
Greg Eveland, I'm a Boise resident, but I do have Valley County property, and my concern really is with the loss of recreation opportunities on Clear Creek Road for snowmobilers. I'm active in several of the snowmobile clubs, was past president from Cougar Mountain, and I'm a Region 3 rep for the Idaho State Snowmobile Association. I'm not here to speak on their behalf because I don't know that they formulated a position, but it does give us a lot of concern that that Clear Creek Road will be lost during this. I know there's work on an alternate route around that. That route adds a lot of miles if you were going to ride back into Warm Lake or some other areas. It's a much slower road. It adds tons of miles to the trip if you're riding to Warm Lake, for example. Right now, there's a parking lot at the trailhead where Clear Creek Road is stopped being plowed. I think it'd be a great deal to have a parking lot wherever this road is going to be stopped being plowed in the future. I think that's the least that we could expect out of this. I know it would probably be on DF development property if they'd be willing to give us area for a parking lot up there so that those that can't or don't want to go around that alternate route, still having the ability to go up there and recreate. That's pretty much all I have.
Thank you. Gosh, I don't know who else signed this, but I can't read the name. All right, who else would like to speak? We'll just do it that way. Who else is in opposition?
I had a list.
That's fine. We'll just take in order.
I'm Brett Williams. I live on 150 Price Loop Road, which is a county road unmaintained, which I think is still not right. I think there's actually some words in the Idaho Code 30 that says the county will maintain roads. And if you're taking this on and going to maintain these roads before you maintain the road I'm on and Loop, and I don't know, there's thousands of others that people are living on right now. And these people are talking about, are you going to start snow plowing up Clear Creek? Because you don't snow plow my loop right now. And I don't think that's right. I don't think the county should take on any more roads unless there's a mechanism to maintain them. Now, DF property, it used to be Boise Cascade and then Potlatch. And guess what? Those property owners didn't restrict travel on their roads at all. That road to Horse Thief 10 years ago was open. I drove it in the fall. So, maybe they should open up access back to the Boise Cascade level, and it's a moot point. I don't see where you taking on another road unless they're willing to give you 20 years of maintenance money. That's ridiculous. I mean, we need to find the funding mechanism to maintain the roads we got where you actually have residents. Taking on more, and I don't think they've sold a lot up there yet that somebody's actually building on. So,
Thank you for your input.
and one more comment, please. He said these road names, I don't know how a road name is any more descriptive than a number. Those Forest Service numbers, pretty descriptive. It's Road 409. and I didn't even realize that the Clear Creek Road, that these guys own part of it. And I thought that was all Forest Service or county already. And, if there's that East Mountain, I think it's the 417 road, there is in question. We shouldn't be letting the Forest Service off the hook on any of these roads. They should stay in there and maintain it.
Thank you. That's a conversation all in itself that we'll spend some time here today discussing. So that's what we're trying to mitigate and get rid of, is the fact that there was a lot of unknowns when this property was sold. And I think we all woke up to some gates and some access issues, and we're trying to resolve that. So that's what this whole conversation is about. And no, the county is not planning on taking on any more maintenance. I agree with you 100%. We need another funding mechanism. We have litigated and we've won. The county does not have to provide maintenance. And so that's something that, residents expect maintenance when they move in, and they are, we just can't provide that. The funding is not there. So no, that's all right. You've had your 3 minutes, so let's move on. But
I can't, the road I'm on, I had to pay a permit fee to connect my driveway to it. And one guy did snowplow it and require a bond. I don't know how you can legally do those two things and then still not maintain it. I mean, if it's county road, it's county road.
it's not though. So that's a whole nother conversation. Happy to have that with you as a side conversation. But all right, up next, who else is up? Come on up. Your name and address, please, or your name and just city you're living in.
Doug Blomberg, 61 Atkin Lane. Our ranch is on 92 Atkin Lane. I think we need to table this and maybe reevaluate the bridge that crosses Clear Creek there. Our property line goes to the middle of the bridge. And so now they're trying to give away property that possibly is not theirs. We need to just look at it and just maybe move property lines, do whatever we need to do, whatever. But crossing Clear Creek there, coming out of Skunk Creek area, just needs to be addressed.
Okay, thank you for that. And your last name again was, I'm sorry,
Blomberg?
Blomberg? Okay, who else do we have that would like to speak? Okay, anybody else? I see any hands? All right. I will go ahead and get a rebuttal from the applicant. We've heard some concerns here. Can you give us some direction on what your thoughts are with this?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. I'm going to do my best to hit concerns. With regard to snowmobiles in Clear Creek, as we mentioned at the outset, the county, upon accepting dedication and deeding of that road, will set the maintenance standard. Just by accepting it doesn't necessarily mean that it will be scraped day one. As we noted in our application letter and as well noted by staff, any maintenance, including snow removal that DF Development wants to do, or the neighbors up there, or the eventual property owners up there, any maintenance that they want to perform, including snow removal, would need to go through the permitting process with the county and Road and Bridge and obtain that permitting, and as was said, the bonding requirements to be able to do that. So that is still an open discussion about that, the alternate route, but I don't think that precludes acceptance of the roadway here today. In fact, I think accepting that roadway probably furthers that conversation and allows for more robust discussion about what that road is going forward, and if there's an alternate, certainly sensitive to to recreational uses up there, and understand the need for those. As far as other concerns, I believe Mr. Blomberg mentioned that his property goes to the middle of the bridge. Is that the existing bridge, or is that, if I can ask? That's not the bridge that we're looking to place then. The one we're looking to replace is over Clear Creek at, I think, what we're calling Long Meadow. I'm pretty sure based on what we've had surveyed, that with the exception of the piece that there's a question as to whether or not the Forest Service owns it, I think the rest of it's pretty clear that what we're deeding is owned by DF Development. So I don't think there's
This is the first bridge coming.
the one that you're talking about. Okay, that's not the one that we're talking about. Doesn't currently have a bridge. There's a go around built into it. Yeah, there used to be. Exactly correct. Yeah, thank you. Other concerns, I think most of the other concerns were about road maintenance, as you've stated and as we've indicated and staff has indicated. The county's not accepting or won't be maintaining these roads. It's not a situation of putting these roads in front of other roads in terms of maintenance priority by any stretch of the imagination. That's not what we're proposing. We're proposing access to public lands and better circulation and better emergency access via these roads, and that's why we're here today.
Will we, let me ask a question, because it says Clear Creek Road on one of your 12 listed roads. Will you be taking care of the maintenance of Clear Creek Road? Or is that just, I'm just looking at the name that's on here. Is that a separate road compared to the original Clear Creek Road?
No, is that on our slide as one of the road names that we're proposing? I apologize then. That road is already named. We're not proposing. Yeah, I appreciate that clarification. No, and if I included that on one of the ones that we're naming, I apologize. That's my fault.
Okay. So is Clear Creek the county road all
Yes.
the way? How far does it go?
Warm Lake.
Goes all the way to Long Lake?
It does, but it's actually owned by somebody else. We have prescriptive easements.
Right.
And we've always reported that the Forest Service roads are public roads. but they're actually owned by whoever owns the property, private property around there. So we have easements over them. They're deeding them to us.
Oh, I see.
So we won't have an easement across somebody else's property.
Right. Okay.
We don't have to piecemeal it.
I'm looking at the question with Mr. Blomberg. On the other side of that road is Glenn Brewer. Is Mr. Brewer in the? Okay. And so we do have easements across that because I can see on both sides of those properties that is already county with the correct access or width. And so
I
across
think-
the Brewers and
Is that south of where they start deeding Clear Creek Road to us? I think you've already sold off those adjacent pieces. I would have to look at the map.
East Mountain Road.
Click to the right of that area.
That's Cook. That's Cook.
That's already been sold.
And Mr. Brewer owns. So there is one section that goes through their property specifically that we have an easement to, and then it goes back into county after that. And then into the Forest Service.
They're only deeding what they own.
Right.
So you talked about, there has been questions, and I'll refer to Jeff on this, our road department. There have been questions about some of those bridges back there being in ill repair and needing replacement. So is the one that is on the Brewer property in Blomberg, I'm sorry, I almost mispronounced it, but is that bridge being replaced? Is there, how are you guys going to get access back to your property through areas where bridges may need to be replaced?
It is. But not the one that we were talking about at Blomberg that's south of that. Okay, that's my understanding is that there's no current plans to replace the other bridges that were mentioned.
Okay.
And not that's not what's being deeded today.
Yes, if it was a subdivision plat, then we would have the ability to create offsite improvements because this is not what's happening today. We don't legally have the ability to require offsite improvements. So I will state that publicly. So it sounds like the biggest concern that we need to mitigate is the loss of recreation. So a parking lot was mentioned at the end of the maintained road. Can you address that?
I can address it a little bit. We've already been discussing potential locations for a parking lot. I don't know that the DF development is. I know they're not necessarily opposed to it. It's just a matter of location and a matter of working out that alternate route for that snowmobile trail.
Okay. Okay. But he's under conversation. And again, you are correct. We do set the level of service, which would be no maintenance at the county level, but the permits would be required for things that are happening in the back there. All right. Do you have any other questions, Commissioner Thompson? Or Commissioner Caldwell, do you have any questions for the applicant?
I just have one question. So with the snowmobiling groomed trail, if we were to, and maybe this is a question for staff, if we were to say no to accepting these roads, they could still have the ability to not allow grooming through there, correct?
If you say no to this, it does not affect their ability to apply for a permit to plow Clear Creek Road. They still have the right to apply for that permit. But just because you approve these road names and accept the deed does not give them a right to plow that road without getting the permit.
Okay.
And I would like to bring up that before that happens, any of those permits, I believe there's a section in our Valley County Code that lists Clear Creek Road as an official snowmobile route, and we would have to make amendments to that. That has nothing to do with this. This is accepting deeds and naming roads.
Right. That they're going to take care of.
Yes, there is fallout for that, but those things have to come in their due time.
And then the alternate grooming route, is it on Forest Service or is it on DF?
Both. Well, I can't say that. I'm gonna let Josh.
We should actually hear from Parks and Rec on that because they'd have the best idea of where that road goes. My understanding is that it is both, and crosses both at certain points.
Is that a true statement? Okay, and then the other consideration is who's going to work with YMCA to make sure that that conversation is had about keeping that route open. So that would be important to the county. If it is part of the CEP, we need to identify that and work with them.
Yeah, I have never met this administrator. I worked with the original ones. It's in the CEP and they're deeded to the road.
Right,
This might be one of those that you want to do the research, but I'm pretty sure we have a pretty thick file on it. But that does not,
So separate from what you're asking, you're not going to be doing any of the maintenance on Clear Creek itself. Is that correct?
Undetermined yet. What we'll probably do is put it on eventual landowners to do maintenance. Again, that would be subject to them coming to the county and obtaining the authority in the form of a permit to do any maintenance on that road.
Okay.
So that's the plan going forward, is to turn over a newly improved to fire code standards road, and then build in a road maintenance agreement for those landowners up there going forward. Again, knowing that they have to come to the county, and that, as Cinda mentioned, and it's a great point, that currently Clear Creek is one of the roads identified as an identified snowmobile route in code. So it would require an actual code amendment for us to scrape that.
Yeah, I think a road development agreement is going to be critical because you can't get a mortgage with that one. So therefore, you're going to have some kind of a road maintenance agreement in place. So
Yeah, that's a great point.
it's kind of a given.
they could form an association to take care of that as they start selling parcels.
We have the same
That'd
thing
just
at
be a
No Business.
recommendation.
Yeah. No Business brought to our attention a lot of problems with snowmobile trails. So. All right. No further questions?
I have none.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And I will go ahead and close the public hearing. And we will go into deliberations. All right, what's your conversation? What's your thoughts on this?
Well, if I keep going back to trying to keep my mind strictly talking about what they're asking, just their roads, and maintaining their roads, staying within what they're asking for. I don't see a problem with taking that over because it creates public access from here forward on county roads. And DF is going to be maintaining them, all those roads, those 12 roads that they've identified. And that's going to be in perpetuity. That's going to be forever.
No, they're going to make improvements and owners in the future will maintain them.
But they'll never go back from the county.
Right. No, the county will always own them
That's what
and
I'm,
no one can ever put a gate up.
that's what I'm saying. Yep. So that's, I
If they
have,
want them maintained, if they want access to their house, then a homeowners association is going to have to be formed or some kind of an association
the
to
county,
do that with a road maintenance agreement because the county is not.
we don't have the money to do that. A lot of you folks out there agreed we need new funding source to help out our roads here in the county, and we are working on that as we speak. So just be patient. Jeff's tired of the calls. He's doing the best he can, but it's not easy right now. So that's all I have.
Hey, Commissioner Caldwell.
I agree with with Commissioner Thompson. It is very important to keep the two items separate. This is simply just on the roads and the deeds. I don't see any, or I don't have any concerns with it. I do appreciate the DF is willing to work with us on the grooming side of things to make sure we do keep that access to recreation open. So I do appreciate that. And so I think for what we're dealing with or looking at today, I don't have any concerns.
Okay, thank you. I think the largest concern is that snowmobile. I mean, that is a huge part of our recreation area for the county. So we do have to come to some mitigation there, and future permits are going to be dependent upon us reaching some agreements on that. I think it's really critical and imperative that people understand we are not accepting any further roads, no matter where they are, in any subdivision or in any area of the county right now for maintenance. I think trying to find a parking lot at the end of that maintained road would be a benefit to all, because anywhere that we don't have a parking lot, people are parking anywhere, and they will park everywhere if we don't have a parking lot for them to be in. I'm amazed at where people will put their vehicles and take the risk, but we've seen that all over the county, so.
Yep.
I think the main thing for the public to understand, there's been a lot of emotion behind this conversation. This is to protect our access for future. The county, we always thought we had access because it was through Boise Cascade, and they allowed people all over their property, all over their roads. And so when that change happened, and this was a private party that purchased that, we had some wake-up calls, and we are still working on some roads that we need to go back in and declare. This is far more efficient for the county in order to accept roads like this as a dedication, instead of us going and fighting over them in the court system. And so that's really imperative to me, that we support and create access points into our natural forest on an ongoing basis, in perpetuity, instead of trying to be locked out by individual land sales as they occur in the future. I think that addressing for our search and rescue, our first responders, is important, because when you say 409, that can be gone, that can be forever. This breaks it into smaller portions, so it's easier to find these access points when emergencies do arise and we need to get into these areas. So it is a public safety concern to me that we be able to identify these roads more simplistically and create a stronger addressing system. So, with that being said, are we ready to vote today then? You don't need further research time on this? Okay.
Good.
And I would accept a motion.
Do we do this
Not, I do have it.
motion you have written on here?
Yep.
Let me read this. I move to accept dedication and conveyance of public rights of way as presented in the right-of-way deeds for the listed roads below. Authorize the chairman to sign the acceptance of the right-of-way of deeds, validate all roads as public roads, and approve the proposed road names as presented, subject to the following conditions. River Bend Lane be conditionally accepted, subject to termination of the U.S. Forest Service cost share agreement that currently governs it. 2, that all such roads be constructed to fire code standards as determined by an assignee of the Valley County Board of County Commissioners. And 3, that the road name signs be installed identifying such roads. 4, that it be determined if renaming East Mountain Spur to White Pine Drive is acceptable to the Forest Service. If no response is received from the U.S. Forest Service within 6 months, it will be assumed that there are no issues with the renaming. 5, Valley County is not ensuring continued maintenance of any of the roads. Road maintenance levels are set by the Board of County Commissioners.
I would move, or I would second that motion. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Aye.
Thank you. We did request this 2 years ago with the horse thief. It is really critically important that we get a secondary access into horse thief for fire mitigation and control. So that is what we've been working on during this time, is to try and create circulation in the forest within this area because we don't have it currently. So that is one of the reasons for all of this. So thank you for all of your input, all your recommendations. We do hear your concerns about roads. We have lost some of our federal funding with roads, so you're seeing that now in some of the conditions of roads, unfortunately. We have not accepted new roads since I've sat on this board, 6 years ago, almost 7 years ago. So we have not accepted anything. This is all previous as far as maintenance of roads. So we will be having a larger conversation about the ways that we fund our road department moving forward and how we can maintain and take care of our roads in a more acceptable manner.
So, and then just for your information, no change will become effective for at least 15 days after this action by the board. And then no change will become effective until the road sign is changed or installed. And then we'll put it in the official road name list and road name maps.
Do we need anything in the motion to work with the Y, or
No, we'll just do that as a matter of fallout.
same way with the Clear Creek as a designated snowmobile route?
Yeah, that will have to be a code change
But it's-
before any of that takes place.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for joining us today. We're available anytime to talk, so please reach out if you have questions. Or did you want this sign-up sheet for the record?
Madam Chairman, do you want to recess?
Yes, we will recess until 1 o'clock.